Good evening. We'd like to call this meeting to order. First, we'll go into our invocation, and immediately following, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Before we pray, let's remember the states, towns, cities, lives that were affected by this past weekend's violent weather outbreak. Been in touch with the governor's office, Kentucky. They're supposed to be letting me know tomorrow where they would like for us to deliver supplies to. We started collecting this morning and had a great day already collecting supplies, and we'll be heading out very early Saturday morning. So let's remember those that have gone through this tragedy. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity that this council can come together and decide the business of the great city of Northport, Alabama. Lead, guide, and direct them in every decision that they make. Lord, the ones that have been affected by the violent weather this past weekend, give them peace, comfort, understanding, give them healing, help them to recover. Just let them know that the citizens of the great city of Northport, Alabama are thinking about them and are here to help. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Whale, call roll, please.
Councilwoman Butler. Present. Councilman Washington.
Here.
President Hinton.
Here.
Councilwoman Knight. Here. President Hall.
Here. Item 4 is presentations. We have one tonight, the Northport Redevelopment Authority. I see a lot of members from the authority here, so appreciate what y'all do and glad to hear about this.
Very good. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I'm Steve Steele. I'm serving as the president of the authority, and this is Jamie Conger, who is serving as vice president of the authority. We've got a presentation for you, and after that we're going to have a time to field some questions. I want to Yes, I just need to speak in it a little more. Is that better? Okay, very good. So what am I pointing at with my clicker, guys?
There you go.
Got it? Okay.
There you go.
All right, very good. So you all know, of course, that the city of Northport funded the Northport Redevelopment Authority with $350,000 from its Northport First funds. The authority is made up of 6 board members, and they are myself, Jamie Conger, Kevin Allman, Giovanni Gomez, Ricky Sherrod, and Bruce Higginbotham. And we have been very ably supported by a number of representatives from the city: Max Snyder, Board Attorney Jay Stuck, Whitney DeBose, and Darren McGee. So the focus of the Redevelopment Authority is to provide grants to business owners and property owners. There we go. To fund facade improvements to their properties that are fronting or visible along the major commercial corridors of Northport. The board elected to go with a grant structure that would provide a $10,000 grant and then a potential for another $10,000 matching grant. So if a project costs $10,000, if an eligible project costs $10,000, the grantee could be awarded $10,000 to fund that cost. If eligible costs for a grant were $30,000, a grantee could be awarded up to $20,000, which would be the initial $10,000 grant, and then a dollar for dollar match of the next $10,000 or $20,000 in expenses. I am entirely out of sync with my. Okay, I am in sync. You might be. Okay. So we'll stop. We may have to have Jamie work this, and we work the other piece. So, in the summer of '21, we started. We opened our portal, if you will, for grant applications. We had a due date of August 1st to have all applications received. The initial application numbers were very low. I think we had 10 by the initial date, and that really picked up as we, or 10 by several weeks prior to the initial date, and that really picked up as we got closer. We found that most of the applications we received were incomplete, or they didn't have sufficient information to allow us to make a decision on those. So the vast majority required us to reach back out to the applicant and ask for more information. And we gave an additional 30-day period of time to accomplish that. We evaluated the completed applications when they were in based on need, based on the impact of the proposed work to the area and its impact along that commercial corridor, the budget that was provided and the feasibility of that budget, and then the alignment with the program guidelines. So if you'll look here, you'll see what I'll call a process flow, and this will help you understand the process we went through. Applications were submitted. They were screened initially by the city to be sure that the applicant was in compliance with business licenses and there were no delinquent taxes with the city and so forth. From that point, we, as a board, evaluated the application, and again, we found that most applications required additional information to be submitted before we could make a decision. The supplemental information was received or not, as the case may be, and we evaluated that final batch of applications from there. And now we're at the stage of having notified a significant number of applicants of the potential for them to receive an award, and we're in process of receiving back from them the agreement, the award agreement. And I think we have 8 so far, and expect to have more in the coming days. And so the next phase will be the completion of the work by the applicant, the NRDA funding its portion of the work based on receipt of an affidavit and invoices and so forth. And so hopefully that'll be coming soon. So we've learned a lot through this process, and I won't belabor this, but I'll tell you that we were challenged at the early stages of this process when Max took a job with Tuscaloosa County Industrial Development Authority. I think we as a board are better for having gone through that, because it made us as board members really take ownership into the development of this program. And I won't say that we went back to the start or necessarily went back to the drawing board. We still used a lot of the information and framework that Max laid out, but we were able to put our own spin on that, and I think that helped us to be more a part of this program. The 3 big issues, though, that we did identify, and I think there's lessons learned, and we can certainly work on these, were, of course, losing that key individual. I think the lesson there is it's probably a good idea to have the entire board be bought in and able to contribute and not have so much of the process driven by one person. So, box checked there. We found that the public didn't know about the program. So we have to do a better job of getting the information out. I think there's a lot of awareness around the program now. That's evidenced by the fact we got 47 applications in. But nonetheless, that's something we continue to work on. And then finally, I would say that the fact that we were relying on paper applications was really not optimal, and we've got to use technology to help us here as we do what will hopefully be a next round in the future. So lessons learned, as in anything. Here's where we are in the program. 45 applications received, so the total request was $677,000. Of that, we've approved 27. Of that 45, there were a number that were several tenants in the same property putting in applications, or in a couple of cases, we had property owners with 2 buildings on the same parcel of property or something similar. So we consolidated those applications. So 45 is a little misleading because that didn't represent 45 individual property owners necessarily. We have approved $341,000 in awards, and of that 341, we have 8 signed agreements back in. We do think the majority of the remainder will come in over the next few days. It's not been long that we sent out the memorandums of agreement for the grantee to accept. So a very successful, I think, initial round of funding. So you see here the businesses or pins marking the location of the businesses where we were able to approve grant applications along 82, along 69, along Main Avenue, and 1 along MLK. So we think we have a good representation of the entire city of Northport there. Again, with a focus along the major commercial corridors, which was our objective. Got some examples for you. So this is the before of Buford Plaza West. It's a $85,000 project, and we awarded a $20,000 grant, and you have in your hand the current, maybe not completely after, but after the work that's been done as of today. The project was including some repairs to the masonry facade of the building, painting, repairing and painting the vinyl soffit, and obviously you see the new color scheme. So very attractive property now. The next one that I would highlight is Austin Markham Proscape. This was a $61,000 project, and we awarded a $20,000 grant. It included a complete rehabilitation of the exterior of the building, and I'll move forward and get a. There we go. So Austin submitted this in his application package just to show the site of his building and project in relation to other businesses, and that was really helpful. He did the best package of any that we saw. He obviously put a lot of time into his. So this is the before of that building. I'm sure you're all familiar with it, and this is his proposal for the after. I drive by this every day, and it's coming along. It looks fantastic. He's put a lot of time and effort into this, obviously. Another project, I think the project owner for this is here tonight, A&R LLC. This is a $131,000 project, $20,000 grant. And the project involved new wall sign band, standardized signage for all tenants, correcting some wood rot and infestation on the exterior of the building, roof work, repainting the exterior of the building, parking lot resurfacing, striping, and cleanup. $131,000 project for which we were able to award a $20,000 grant. So in closing of our presentation, I would say I think we've designed a program that has the ability to make a significant impact in Northport, and it demonstrates the council's commitment to not just bringing in new businesses to the city of Northport, but supporting those businesses that have been in the city for a long time and that our economy here is built on. And as we continue to focus the work of this group on a facade improvement program to improve the businesses along the main commercial corridors of Northport, we think that the city will reap benefits from that over the long term. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jamie for questions, and I will
I will say the update from our attorney is we have 10 signed agreements as we sit here today. So it's steadily increasing from the number from this morning even. So we are increasing that. Any questions or comments about the program or results or anything along those lines?
I'm just excited to see this going. I think this is really going to update and enhance different areas, and as Mr. Steele talked about, a lot of people may not have known about this. They know now, they're really going to know when they start seeing a lot of construction going on across the city, and seeing that your authority was able to help them with some match money. So nothing talks like the mighty dollar. So we do appreciate your hard work. I see all the board members. If the board members, if you could stand up, just be recognized tonight. We appreciate your work on this. Thank you.
We also have some of the applicants here if they want to be recognized.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that's an applicant that wants to stand up as well? Anything you want to say?
I'm Richard Henry of Druid City Properties. Our project was the last one up there under A&R LLC. For the record, I have not historically owned that property. We didn't let it get that way, but we're here to thank y'all for being part of the process to fix it up and make it nice. And we tentatively, they're going to repave the parking lot next week, so hopefully we won't have the record for the most potholes anymore. But we appreciate y'all's help and look forward to getting some new good tenants in that centers to help Northport and the citizens here. So thank y'all.
We're all about Krispy Kreme, steakhouses, you know.
We are too.
Okay. Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Item 5 of the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve the agenda as printed? That's a motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
And by Councilwoman Dykes. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. Item 6 is visitors to address the council. We have one member signed up to speak tonight. That is Ms. Crystal Buck in regards to Dickens Downtown. If you will, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Crystal Buck, and my business address is 433 Main Avenue. I also live in Northport, but I usually stay at my place of work. So I'm just here tonight to thank everyone who was a part of Dickens Downtown. I know, I think it was at an October council meeting that Dr. Hinton said you don't get to hear a lot of praise and thank you and that type of thing. So I'm here to change that a little bit and say thank you to everybody. I do have a business in downtown Northport. I'm also president of the Downtown Northport Merchants Association and president of the Friends of Historic Northport. And I mention that because I have a unique perspective with Dickens Downtown and get to work with a lot of people to make that event happen. So I'd like to specifically thank our city council. I know that several months back you voted to approve of new signs in downtown, and we were able to actually get new signs all the way down to First Street. And so if you've not had the chance to see those by now, they look really great in my opinion. I know that also members from staff helped put bows on all of those. There were 134 bows, 4 on each sign, and so that takes a lot of work and time. So thank you for that. Also, the City of Northport provided portable restrooms, which is a huge help. A lot of our buildings are old down there and cannot handle thousands of people within 3 hours, so it's very helpful. Also, Northport Police Department for just going the extra mile to keep us all safe. I know I walked the streets with Mr. Carpenter. I didn't see him in here tonight, and someone else. And so I know that every year they put a lot into that. And then last but not least, I'd like to say an extra special thank you to our Public Works Department. They always go above and beyond from anything that I've ever seen, but this was definitely extra this year. They really helped with not only putting up those signs, but in new Christmas tree at the Shirley Place home, and pressure washing and leaf blowing and trash pickup, and I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of things off that that they did, but once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was a part of that, and hopefully we can do it again next year.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Crystal.
Dr. Hinton's correct. This group here normally doesn't get a lot of kudos for the work that we try to do, but it's always nice to hear that the staff gets some credit, because they're really the unsung heroes that do go the extra mile and work behind the scenes and really do the work in the hands-on of all departments. So it's always nice to make sure that they're recognized for all their hard work. So thank you, Crystal, for coming and speaking. We appreciate you. Item 7 is unfinished business. There's none tonight. Item 8 is new business. 8A1 is the first reading of a rezoning of a .47 acres to RS3 located at 2704 20th Avenue. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This item comes with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to offer this for a first reading?
So moved.
That is offered up by Councilwoman Dykes. 8A2 is a first reading of a rezoning to Bridge Avenue North of approximately .99 acres located at the southwest corner of Rice Mine Road and 15th Avenue. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This item also comes with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to offer that for a first reading?
I'll offer it.
That is offered up by Councilwoman Bobo. Item 3, 8A3 is a first reading of an ordinance ordering demolition of an unsafe structure located at 2328 9th Street. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. The building inspectors have found that this structure that's located at 2328 9th Street is unsafe and it is dangerous to the public health. We are recommending the structure be demolished. All necessary procedures have been followed. The property owner has, as of today, submitted a building permit for demo for this structure. However, we would like to proceed with the first reading, and then we'll have the second reading at the next meeting. They have not been able to secure a contractor at this time, so the permit will not be issued until that time. However, we will move forward with that tonight.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to offer this for a first reading? That's offered by Councilman Hinton. 8A4 is the first reading of an amendment to the subdivision regulations regarding sidewalks. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This item comes with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to offer this for a first reading? It's offered by Councilman Washington. And 8A5 is a first reading of an ordinance amending the municipal code by adding Division 6 to Chapter 70 of Northport City Code relating to the renaming of street and changing the name of a city street. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This comes with a favorable recommendation from the Public Safety Committee.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to offer this for a first reading? That's offered up by Councilman Washington. And 8A6 is the first reading of an ordinance adopting the 2022 capital budget. Mr. McGee.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We would like to present the capital budget for fiscal year 2022. It is for water and sewer, general fund, and a gas tax. It has been approved at the November Finance Committee meeting and comes with a recommendation for them for passage.
Okay.
And President Hogg, we are requesting that the council consider this under suspension of rules tonight so that we can move forward with some of the capital purchases that have.
Okay. So due to time sensitivity, it's a request that we suspend the rules for this agenda item, 8A6. And I just want to remind the council that if we do go to suspension of rules, it's going to take a unanimous vote of council to do so. So with that being said, I will make the motion to suspend the rules in order to immediately consider the fiscal year 2022 capital fund budget. And that is in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo? Yes. Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. We are under suspension of rules. Under this, do we have a motion to adopt the ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2022 capital fund budget?
So moved.
That's a motion by Councilwoman Bobo. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Hinton. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
And President Hogg?
Yes. AB1 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with Boardman, Carr, Petlos, Watkins and Ogle, PC. Ms. Webb.
Yes, sir. As we have discussed in our community outreach, we believe it is judicious to hire an outside attorney to give additional legal advice for due diligence as we consider the separation of the city of Northport from the Tuscaloosa County school system. Many of you have met with Mr. Boardman. Invite the remainder of you to meet.
Okay.
Total contract amount will be $15,000.
Anything else? All right. Is there a member of council that would like to move for the adoption of the resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with Boardman Carr, Petlos, Watkins, and Ogle PC to represent the city of Northport investigating the possibility of establishing its own city school system with a cost not to exceed $15,000?
So moved.
Second.
That's a motion by Councilwoman Dykes. That is a second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. 882 is a resolution appointing a member to the Northport Planning Commission. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This resolution will appoint Councilwoman Jamie Dykes as the council representative on the Planning Commission. The appointment will become effective immediately and will expire on November the 3rd of 2025.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
Move. Second.
By Councilman Hinton, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
I guess. Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. AB3 is a resolution allowing 3-month pilot program under existing franchise agreement between the City of Northport and North Star. Chief Marshal.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. This comes as a favorable recommendation of the Public Safety Committee. This pilot program will allow us to participate in medical priority dispatch, which will therefore allow North Star to send an appropriate response to the type of call. The goal of the program is to decrease wait time for units on scene wait for transport and keep more ALS units in service.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to adopt this resolution? That's a motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Dykes. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. AB4 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for the repair of the sinkhole at City Hall.
Yes, sir. We received bids from 4 contractors. We would like to award to John Plott Company Incorporated as the lowest bidder for $993,753.61.
Okay. I will move to adopt the resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into this agreement with the lowest bidder, John Plott Company Incorporated. That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. AB5 is a resolution reallocating 2020 Northport First Funds. Mr. McGee.
Yes, Mr. President. We ask that you would reallocate $150,000 of 2020 Northport First Funds from a line item dedicated to demolition and blight removal to a line item dedicated to a master plan of the new recreational property on Rose Boulevard. And this comes with an approval from the Finance Committee.
Okay. Once again, for everyone, this is the money was allocated for $150,000 in the Northport First Funds for demolition and blight removal. However, since that was not used in 2020, this will allocate those funds for purpose of a master plan for the recreational property that the city purchased a few months ago for 151 acres on Rose Boulevard. So, with that being said, I will move to adopt this resolution reallocating the $150,000 of the 2020 Northport First Funds for demolition blight removal to the recreational property master plan. That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Webb?
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. AB6 is resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with Tyler Technologies for electronic timekeeping system. Mr. Rose?
Yes, sir. This would be an agreement with Tyler Technologies, which is our financial software. They have a program called ExecuTime, which would allow us to have electronic timekeeping for all employees within the city of Northport. This would allow us to do that instead of good old paper. So,
We're moving on up.
yeah.
Is there a member of council that has any questions regarding this agenda item? All right. Thank you, Mr. Rose. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
That's by Councilwoman Dykes, second by Councilman Hinton. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. Item 8B7 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with Yellowhammer Engineering LLC to provide CE&I service for the Hassan Park Improvements Project. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, sir. This will amend the agreement and allow Yellowhammer to provide construction engineering inspection services during the installation of the playground.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
Move.
Motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Hinton. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. 8B8 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute an amendment 1 with Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated to continue to provide on-call grant services. Ms.
Yes, sir,
Tubbs.
Yes, this is an hourly not-to-exceed contract. We have utilized their services quite a bit and applied for many grants from PD to also the IT department. So we're asking to increase their not-to-exceed amount by $25,000.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
Move.
Motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. AB9 is resolution authorizing the city administrator and the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Tuscaloosa County Commission regarding debris removal and monitoring services. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, the state of Alabama EMA does debris removal contracts that we can use as needed. In order to do that, they do them for the county. So if we enter into a memorandum of understanding with the county, we'll be able to utilize those services if we feel that we need to in a certain situation. So it allows us, if we were to have some type of severe weather event that would cause debris removal, it allows us to immediately go into a contract with someone that has already bid. And so we won't have to do that ourselves and slow down the process.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution? That's a motion by Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
By Councilwoman Dykes. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb?
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. AB 10 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute a community letter of interest to join the Community Rating System, CRS. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, sir. When we are working with our grant consultant to apply for grants for drainage studies and also improvements to our drainage structures, we became aware that it would be much more favorable for us to be a member of the community rating system, which would also allow our citizens to get a reduction in insurance, so flood insurance. So we're working through the process of becoming one of those communities. It does take several steps, but the first step is to send a letter requesting our letter of intent to let them know that we are interested in becoming a community rating system city. And so this is giving Ms. Webb the approval to sign that letter.
Okay. Once again, we are doing everything we can to make sure that we are taking advantage of any opportunities out there to better our city for our citizens. So, is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
How did I know?
I'm particularly interested in
I was going to
this.
say, how did I know you're going to make that motion? That's a motion by Councilman Hinton. That is a second by Councilman Washington. Is there any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo. Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. 8B11 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to approve Amendment 1 to the agreement with Burt Klein-Peter Incorporated for the MLK Junior Boulevard Improvement Project. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, sir. This is more of a paperwork. This is the MLK project. There's a bridge that has been designed on that project that Burt Klein-Peter has done. This is to clean up their contract to make sure that the city council has approved all of their amendments that have come through. Darren and I went through this project to make sure that we had all the proper approvals from both you and ALDOT, and this is the one that we are missing. So we just want to make sure that we have our documents in order.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
Move.
By Councilman Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bobo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. Councilman Washington, I know MLK Junior Boulevard Improvement Project is being one of your items that you have been working on. Is there any other updates that you want to share at this time with anyone that you might know of that we might not?
Not at the time, but we're looking to have a public meeting in January, hopefully. We're trying to set up, everybody get on the same page.
Yes, today at the MPO meeting, they approved the separating of the bridge. So that allow us to pull the bridge out and make its own separate project. So that way we can go ahead and start construction on that part while they're attaining the right-of-way on the roadway portion. So it'll help speed up the project.
Okay, great. I know that has been a ongoing project for quite some time, so glad to see some things happening and glad to hear that we got a public involvement meeting set up. That'll be good. All right, AB 12, resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute agreement with Burt Klein-Peter Incorporated to provide survey and design services for the Watermelon Road resurfacing project. Ms. Tubbs.
Yes, this is also an MPO funded project. So this is to enter in contract with Burt Klein-Peter for $96,589.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
I'm going to give that one to Councilman Hinton because he has been talking Watermelon Road for a couple of years now. So. All right, and we're going to do second with Councilwoman Bobo. So that's a motion by Councilman Hinton, second by Councilwoman Bobo. Is there any other questions or comments regarding AB 12? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. AB 13 is resolution rejecting janitorial bid supplies. Ms. Starnes.
Yes, Mr. President. The City of Northport is going to purchase janitorial supplies from Omnia Purchasing Cooperative. This is in order to obtain better pricing.
Okay. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Dykes and a second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. AB 14 is resolution awarding bid for the Highway 82 Water and Sewer Relocation Project, or the ALDOT project, number STP OA 0006564. Mr. Webb.
Yes, President Hogg. In your package, you'll see it's a letter from ALDOT recommending that we approve the low bid to Dominion Construction on this project, and this is a fully reimbursable project.
Okay. Fully reimbursed. All right. Is there a member of council that would like to move to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
That's a motion by Councilman Hinton, second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes.
President Hogg.
Yes. 8C is our consent agenda. Our consent agenda ranges from minutes, bill listings, and PO requisitions. Is there a member of council that would like to move to approve the consent agenda as printed?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Dykes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Washington. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Ms. Webb.
Councilwoman Bobo?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Pro Tem Hinton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dykes?
Yes.
President Hogg?
Yes. Item 9 is reports of special committees of council. If there's a member of council that would like to give an update from their committee. Item 10 is public hearings. We have none. Item 11, city administrator's business.
Yes, sir. I have one item tonight. I wanted to remind everyone of our holiday open house this Thursday from 6 to 9. And I can tell you about a few of the features. But before I do that, I want to thank our sponsors first. Our sponsors include Tuscaloosa Public Library, Taco Casa, Christie's Boutique, Allstate, Leslie's Lawn Care, and Smart Bank. We'll have various components here at City Hall on this Thursday. We'll have our new sign unveiled at 6:05. We'll have caroling out around the Christmas tree at 6:15 until 7. We'll have a reading time in the Grinch's Lair, that is where the water and tag offices are located on the west side of the building. Here in the center, we will have cookies and hot cocoa, as well as Santa and Mrs. Claus. We'll have a small gift for the first 200 children that visit with us. Then on the east end, we'll have Frozen, Anna, Elsa, and Olaf, and we'll have cotton candy down on that end, and our community meeting room right across the hall here from council chambers. We'll have the Polar Express movie being played, popcorn, and there'll be 3 different crafts, I think, throughout the building. We'll have letters to Santa available to write and drop off in a special mailbox to get delivered to the jolly old man. And have I forgotten anything? We look forward to having everyone here. We also want to thank 5 Points Baptist, because they have graciously agreed to allow for parking next door. So there'll be light trees and lighting of pedestrian ways here. We do ask that everybody be cautious as they come around City Hall, particularly 82 on to 43. Be mindful that we expect a crowd.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else in my memory, probably.
Well, that sounds like a lot of activities for children. I will say that I did see, or I thought I saw earlier, I thought I saw the Grinch walking around, and that is the tallest Grinch I've ever seen. So be on the lookout for him.
Remember that this is a free event for our community, so the Grinch may want to steal Christmas. We're giving it.
I think he's got a heart.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ms. Webb?
No, sir.
Okay. Once again, everyone, please make sure you attend and let your children or grandchildren know. Holiday open house, 6 to 9 on Thursday. It should be a great time. This is the first annual, so bear with us. If we don't get something right, we'll fix it next year. So we're learning as we go as well. But I think it's going to be a great success. And I want to thank everyone that's been involved in and how this has evolved into such a spectacular project. We've also had, Dickens Downtown already, the Tuscaloosa Christmas parade that the kids have been able to enjoy. And it's always good to have Christmas spirit, especially in the times that we're in right now. So thank you once again for all your hard work. Item 12 is departmental business. We have one item agenda, and that's from the Finance Department, and it's regarding Northport First Funds report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Per our code, regarding Northport First funds, we're required to make a status report in December, and that's what I'll be doing tonight. I will try to keep it as brief as I can. I'll report first on 2020 funds. Those collections that year were $5,465,327. To date, we have spent $4,665,904.26. Remaining funds are $799,422. The significant expenditures, and these are highlights, are not all inclusive. Participated in the all-inclusive playground for $250,000. The facade improvement program for $350,000, which we heard about a little earlier. The downtown streetscape project was $700,000. Educational grants for all of the schools in the city of Northport city limits was just over $297,000. We did a number of paving projects for $1.5 million. And finally, we contributed $1.465 million to our required reserves. Remaining projects that are out there, the biggest one is the O.S. Harvey Park project, which is $525,000. There's the Levee Trail, which is remaining of $37,500. That is in process now. The Hassan Playground repairs and replacement, which is $45,250 remaining. You heard a little bit about that earlier also. And finally, the reallocation from earlier of $150,000 toward the recreational plan, the master plan for the recreational area on Rose Boulevard. So that is a recap of our 2020 funds. I'll move on to 2021. Our total collections for 2021 Northport First funds was $6,655,000, $539.95. We have had total expenditures to date of $4,506.84, leaving remaining funds of $2,149,355. Expenditures to date, significant ones are, again, downtown streetscape of just over $1.1 million. Educational grants, again, for 2021 to our local schools of $350,000. And that went from 10 to 11 schools in that time period, and an increase to 1. Purchase of the recreational property on Rose Boulevard, the Black Warrior property, of $700,000. Contributed to Habitat for Humanity of $50,000 for some local projects. Also paving, again, of $476,000 to date. Contributed another $700,000 to our required reserves. As many people know, the storm and flooding event that we had to date, we have spent $1,028,562 on that for repairs. And last is our sinkhole here next door. To date, we spent just over $99,000 on that. Remaining major projects, again, there's a little over $220,000 remaining allocated toward the flooding event and the storm repairs. Paving is just over $1,023,000 in this year's paving projects, and a little over $900,000 remaining that's allocated to the sinkhole project next door. So hopefully that wasn't too long or dull, but that's a highlight of everything we've done. That's not all inclusive, but it covers by far the majority of those, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. So
Okay.
now or in the future if you have any. So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McGee. I do have to say this, and you're going to get tired of me saying it every year, but this was something that came about a couple of years ago, and at the time the mayor and the council decided to increase the sales tax to follow what has already been done with neighboring cities and cities all throughout Alabama. This was a monumental task for the city of Northport. You hear all the great things that Mr. McGee just spoke about in terms of projects. Those could not have been done without this additional one penny. So it was at the time the mayor and council had decided not to absorb this into the general fund budget. This was going to be a specific fund that would be separated, that you, the citizens, could see exactly what is being done with your taxpayer dollars. And as you can tell, the items that people always want to see is to invest back into the schools or to make sure that your infrastructure is getting as much attention as it possibly can. Make sure that the roads are being paved, et cetera, or doing things that are additional, such as trying to make something recreational for the citizens here in Northport. And as you'll tell, this was a big deal, and this is something that this council and mayor will continue to make sure that as we grow as a city and as the funds continue to grow, as you'll tell, from 6.6 down to, I think it was around 5 for 2020, that was a large increase, that we will continue to use the funds in a way that will be beneficial to everyone, and that you will see that we are also not only spending those funds, but we're also putting money back, as Mr. McGee had allotted to as well. So this is one of the major things that the city of Northport has at the moment. Northport First Funds, you'll hear that a lot. It would not be available if it wasn't for you guys, the citizens that rally behind this. And I don't think we had one person that came and spoke against that. Normally, when you have anything that's going to be a tax increase, you have someone that will come and say that this is not a good idea. But when you hear that and you can see it on paper of what can be done with additional money, that 1 cent doesn't seem to matter as much anymore to people. So just want to point that out. That's something that I know you're going to get tired of hearing me say that, but that is such a monumental effort by the city to do. So thank you, Finance Department, for your report. We will move on to Mayor and Council members' business, and we will start with the Honorable Mayor Herndon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Got a few things. First one is, I think tonight's going to be the last meeting for Aaron from the Northport Gazette, and just want to tell you how much we appreciate you for all your good reporting. Appreciate you for anything you said bad against us too, you know. So, but we want to wish you the best in all your future endeavors, and you've done a great job. Just appreciate you, man. Also, as Glenda was mentioning about the open house coming up Thursday, once again, thanks to all the staff, everyone that's participated, the volunteers that's got our city hall looking great, that's recruited the sponsors, that's gone well over above and beyond of anything that they're paid to do. This comes from the heart, and I think the citizens of Northport, Alabama are going to be greatly impressed and going to have a great time here at City Hall on Thursday. And then lastly, as we always do anytime there's a disaster, or as we've done the last 10 years anyway, I'll be going to Kentucky with as many trucks and trailers as we can get loaded up early Saturday morning. The destination, as I said earlier, the governor's office is going to let me know where they want us to go. I started collecting supplies about 5:30 this morning, and I was going to wait until Thursday or Friday to start getting the trucks and the trailers and getting stuff out of my office and putting them into the trailers. Well, we had to go ahead and start getting trucks today. That's a testament to the citizens of Northport, Tuscaloosa, and our surrounding areas. We had one group that donated a lot of slightly used furniture. We've got groceries, we've got hygiene products, pet foods, just the same things that we always get for the past 10 years we've been getting. We've got people donating water, sports drinks. But it's an honor to represent Northport and this community to the world. This will be our 4th state and our 11th city in the last 10 years to take supplies to. And I just want you to know how awesome you are. And we'll be back at the office at 5:30 in the morning at 2728 Lurleen Wallace Boulevard in the great city of Northport, Alabama, starting to collect again. So if you can spread the word, we appreciate it. And if you'd like to go on a trip with me sometime, if you want a blessing, it's an awesome experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. District 1, Councilwoman Bobo.
I was just going to say that since I've been on the council, there have been two individuals who consistently join us for meetings, and Aaron Bonner is one of those. I just want to thank you for your service to the Northport Gazette and the citizens of Northport, because there are so many times that we try to convey something and you help us get that out to the community, and we all appreciate you for that. And we wish you the best in your new position. And just want to tell Ryan Phillips thank you as well. There have been times when we communicate things and it may be misunderstood in the community, and one of those times happened recently with the additional fee added to water bills if you want to pay with a credit card. And that's not something that we are making money off of as the city. That's something that we are asking the citizen to cover, that we are charged. So we're not making money off of it, and that's something that was coming as a hot topic on social media, and Ryan jumped in there and got the facts and spread those out for us. I just want to tell you thank you for that.
All right. District 2, Councilman Washington.
Yes, I'd like to say Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks to the staff. And also, we have Miss Natalie Pugh. She's in my district part-time and part-time in Jeff's district. So we know the Pugh family.
Okay, Ms. Pugh, if you will, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Hello, I'm Natalie Pugh, and my address is 12960 Rolling Meadows Circle, Northport, Alabama. And I am blessed to have two councilmen to represent me. My business is in Councilman Washington's district, and my home is in Jeff Hogg's. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for allocating the money. I was one of the awarded recipients for the development grant. My business is on Lurleen Wallace, and I just wanted to be able to tell you guys that means a lot, to be able to use those funds to upgrade the building. So just wanted to tell you guys thank you, and thank you, Councilman Washington, for everything that you're doing in our area as well, too. It's greatly appreciated. And same thing with all you guys. But I just got to give a special one out to my district. But thank you, guys.
Thank you. I do think the Development Authority really waited till December so they could say Merry Christmas to everybody. So, which is a good Christmas gift, I'm sure. All right, Councilman Washington, is there anything else? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Pugh. Appreciate you being here. District 3, Pro Tem Hinton.
I just wanted to mention the Redevelopment Authority again. They've not been in existence too long, but they've done a great job. They work hard. They're business people and very busy, but they find time to help the city extend what we can do. And so we really thank you for all you're doing.
Okay. Thank you. And District 4, Councilwoman Dykes.
Yes, I want to piggyback off what Mayor Herndon said. Last January, I didn't know my way around here, let alone know any of these people. And Jeff Hogg said, will you chair a holiday committee? And I thought, what in the world am I getting myself into? I don't know. We started meeting in January about monthly. And I have to give just kudos. Everything you see that's gone on in all the signs downtown, for the new signs that were downtown for Dickens, this staff did. And I'm going to embarrass them and call their names out. And I want everyone to give them a round of applause, starting with Scott Murphy, Julie Ram. Y'all stand up. Go on, stand up. Go the whole way. Tara Tubbs, Brooke Starnes, Glenda Webb, and I think that was it. So look at, stand up. Everything that you see there out in the halls, and we really weren't doing the outside. That was really our task, and it grew from that to what you're going to see on Thursday night, and the ideas kept flowing to a point. It was like, okay, guys, let's stop right here. I can't give them enough kudos, and if you happen to see them, please tell them thank you for everything that they've done around here. Great job.
Ms. Dykes, Whitney is on the other side.
Oh, Whitney, my bad. I didn't see you sitting over there. I didn't even know you were in here. Yes, Whitney Dubose was on the committee as well. Thank you, Ms. Webb. I did not see her.
Thank you, Councilwoman Dykes. Under District 5, I don't really have anything in terms of business for the district, but I do want to just acknowledge that this past weekend I was traveling with my oldest daughters who play competitive travel volleyball, and we were in Foley at their center, and recently our finance committee had asked us to look at allocate money to Tuscaloosa Tourism with Don Staley, of which we have joined with them as an outside agency partner. And as you saw tonight with the 151 acres that we have on Rose Boulevard, that we've started a master plan for recreational for that area. Now, what that comes out to be, we don't know, but we've started the process of definitely making sure that recreation for families and children are a priority. And a lot of us here on the council, I mean, we want to see sports complex. We want to see water park. We want to see a lot of different things that will not only give our children something to do here in the community, but also bring in visitors from other places into Northport. And that could be a range of recreational items, not just sports complex and water park. But the master plan will give us some more direction on what we think that 151 acres can be used for. It might be the spot that we think would be the best to put those items. It might not be, but as it stands now, I just want to say that it was December. It was Christmas time, but there was a ton of families that were traveling to Foley, Alabama to take their children to play sports. And it's not always just the baseball and softball that's in the summertime. It is December. Most families with disposable income probably that's not the place that you would want to go because there's so much to do, and the rates for condos or hotels or anything else are a lot more than anywhere else in the state. But tens of thousands of people were there, and it was a constant rotation of families, and all of the kids were having a great time. The restaurants were busy. All of the kids' activities, the arcades, the go-karts, all of the recreational areas around there were busy. There was also a water park behind the sports complex as well. So what I'm getting at is, as we move Northport forward, just because things don't happen overnight, that these things are in the works. There is a plan of action, and there is a method to the madness, and this council does want to see those things happen, and we are slowly getting there. But just because you don't hear those terminology used over and over again at a council meeting doesn't mean that it's not on the first and on our minds. So just wanted to point that out and look forward to the master plan that we will receive for the 151 acres that we recently purchased for recreational areas. And sorry to be so elaborate on that, but I thought it needed to be said. Item 14 is adjournment. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
That's a second by Councilwoman Dykes. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.